I've seen more and more people who were convinced of the sort of woke ideology see the light.
Yeah.
So not everyone, but it's more and more are seeing the light. And it tends to happen like when something happens that really directly affects you.
Right.
Like there was a friend of mine who was living in the San Francisco Bay Area, and that tried to trans his daughter, like to the point where the school like sent the police to his house to take his daughter away from him. Now that's going to radicalize you. Well, that's going to shake you out of your belief structure. Now I know.
So it was an activist at the school that was trying to do this?
Yeah, the school and the state of California conspired to turn his daughter against him and make her take life-altering drugs that would have sterilized her and irreversible.
And how old was she?
I think 14, something like that. So he managed to talk the police out of taking his daughter away from him that day, and that night he got on a plane to Texas.
Wow.
And a year after just being in a school in like Greater Austin area, she went back to normal, meaning like it wasn't real.
Right. Well, people are being much more open to that now. I mean, Wall Street Journal yesterday had that opinion piece that this whole trans thing, there's a lot of evidence, is a social contagion.
Absolutely.
And Colin Wright wrote that, and then he's getting death threats now, of course, and on Blue Sky, there's people talking about exterminating him, which is one thing that you are allowed to say on Blue Sky, apparently. You're allowed to say horrible things about people, say possibly truthful things about this whole social contagion, because that's what, when you get 9 kids that are in a friend group and they all decide to turn trans together, something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
That's not statistically
like here's
feasible.
Like you can convince kids to do anything. You can convince kids to be a suicide bomber.
Right.
So
which is why they do in some countries, why they choose children to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can train kids to be suicide bombers, and if you can train kids to be suicide bombers, you can convince them of anything.
Yeah, especially with enough positive enforcement and cultural enforcement, and the idea that that's not the case.
The kids are malleable.
Yes.
The minds of youth are easily corrupted.
You're also seeing a lot of pushback from gay and lesbian people that are saying, like, "Hey, if someone did
stop
this
including
to
me." So yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The LGBT, it's like, wait a second, why are we being included all the time in this situation?
Exactly. Especially when. Like my friend Tim Dillon's talked about this, is like it's really homophobic because you're taking these gay kids and you're telling them like, hey, you're not gay, you're actually a girl.
Yes.
And hey, go make it so that you can never have an orgasm again and you'll be happy. Like
it's
fucking
like
crazy.
permanent mutilation, permanent castration of kids is like I think we should look at anyone who permanently castrates a kid as like right up there with Josef Mengele.
Yeah.
I mean, they're mutilating children.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's thought of as being kind. And the thing is, would you rather have a live daughter or a dead son?
That's the line they use.
Yeah, which is not supported by any data.
It's in fact, the probability of suicide increases.
Right.
This is important maybe for the audience to know. The probability of suicide increases if you trans a kid, not decreases. By some accounts, it triples. So that is an evil lie.
And it's a lie that is supposedly compassionate. Imagine you've twisted reality to the point where confusing a child that's not even legally allowed to get a fucking tattoo.
Yeah.
Right? Because you think that you could make a mistake with a tattoo,
exactly.
a totally removable thing.
Right.
If I wanted to tomorrow, I could go to a doctor and they could laser off every tattoo that I have on me.
Right.
Okay, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
But you get sterilized, like that's it forever. Forever.
Yes.
They'll castrate you. You no longer have testicles. You have,
yes, that's not coming back.
You have no penis. You have a hole where your penis used to be.
Yes.
And this is compassionate, and this is preventing you from
actually, a lot of
yourself.
kids die with these sex change operations. They die. The number of deaths on the operating table, people don't hear about this. A lot of the kids, because we don't really actually have the technology to make this work. So a bunch of the times the kids just die in the sex change operations.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's demented, which it should be viewed as like, like evil Nazi doctor stuff. Basically.
Well, that's why it was
like
so
real Nazi, not the bullshit fake Nazi stuff.
crazy that even pushing back against something that seems like fundamentally, logically, very easy to argue, the old Twitter would ban you forever.
Yes.
That's how crazy a social contagion can get. When it completely defies logic, victimizes children, does something that makes no sense, not supported by data, all connected to this ideology that trans is good, we got to save trans kids, protect trans kids.
Yeah, and what I want to emphasize is that the save trans kids thing is a lie. If you castrate kids and trans them, the probability of suicide increases. It does not decrease. It substantially increases. The studies that done that I've seen, the risk of suicide triples if you trans kids. So you're not saving them, you're killing them. Moreover, during the sex change operation, there are many deaths that occur during the sex change operation.
Jesus Christ. It's just crazy that this is a real issue.
Yeah. It's a nightmare fever dream, and people are finally waking up from it.